Hey, what's going on, Waddy? So the thing about the shoulder is the shoulder is made up of many different parts and muscles and stuff, and the muscles don't just. A lot of people think they're just deltoid, anterior. What is this? I guess the front of the deltoid, the side of the deltoid, and the back, and it's more than that. It's a lot of muscles that are kind of intertwined, and some go through the joint. They go through they're under the blade, things like that. So it sounds like because of what you were doing with the overhand punches, if you're not used to that, it could, or even the uppercut. I don't know. It could be the rotator cuff. So I don't know all the names and stuff like that, but here's a little test that you can use to find out where the injury is. Okay. Um, and I'll probably post up some information after this, but you can start with this when I'm going to stand to the side. So you want to pinpoint exactly which muscle group it is that's injured. Okay, and then what the extent is. Okay, so you start with your hands down, and then you raise it slowly all the way until you go 180 degrees. Then you bring it down. Then you bring it to the side all the way till it's almost 180 degrees. At the point that you feel pain, just make a mental note of that. Or the point that it becomes difficult, make a mental note of that. Then you go back as far as you can. And then you bend the arm to try to touch your back like this, right? Where you put your, like you're scratching your back, except the back of your hand will be against your body. Then rotate it. So your hand will rotate like this so that it touches your back. So what happens is when you do that, you kind of pinpoint where the injuries are. So say for example, I raise it like this. I feel a little bit. Then I bring it down. So now I'm going to bring it this way, like maybe 45 degrees. Maybe not necessarily 45 degrees, halfway between here and 45 degrees, about there. Then bring it 45 degrees. Then bring it halfway between 45 degrees and directly to the side, right? And then so you see what I'm saying. So by rotating it this way, you kind of you find out what hurts and then to what extent it hurts, or if it's just tight. And then what happens is exactly the muscle that you feel that's holding you back from raising your arm, or the muscles that's hurting the most. You make a mental note of where those muscles are, and uh, and then you massage. I'm not a fan of the ice thing. People use ice to stop swelling, and swelling is not what's going to hurt you. Swelling is actually helping the muscle or the joint or whatever repair itself. We just don't like the swelling because it inhibits our movement. Maybe we feel like something is wrong, and the swelling is not what's wrong. It's what's causing the swelling that's wrong. So the swelling is good because that cushions the joint, for example. Um, but what you want to do is you want to limit how much movement that you're doing to it, and you do a combination of, let's say, this muscle hurts when I go 45 degrees, and then it hurts just a little bit less going that way and a little bit less going that way, but it's exactly 45 degrees that I get the most pain. Um, then what you want to do is the muscle that's doing that hurts the most is the one that you should be massaging, and you want to do that regularly. Not necessarily every day, maybe every other day, things like that. Because what the massage does is it encourages blood flow to that area, which speeds up the healing. And I mean, you could go see a doctor, but my problem with doctors is that they're gonna give you ibuprofen or Motrin or some shit like that, and your arm is not hurting because of an ibuprofen deficiency. Your arm's hurting because of an injury, and the injury needs to be treated, not covered up. And what happens is when you get those cortisone shots and stuff like that, it covers up the injury and makes you feel like you don't have the injury. So what do people do? They go out and they act like, "Oh, I'm good. I can go work out now." And that's not how that works. Okay, that's how you fuck it up even more, and which the medical community, I'm pretty sure, loves that because now that you fucked it up more, you come back in. Now it's no longer just giving you shots and giving you a pill. Now we have to give you a free reconstruction. You see what I'm saying? And so now they make hella money off that shit. They went from charging you, $20, $30 for some pills. Now they're charging a couple $1,000s for surgery. So fuck that. Just work your way through these injuries and um, when it comes to joints, yeah, don't play around. If it feels like it's like deep inside the joint, or that, and the thing is, what we interpret to be deep inside the joint may not necessarily be a cartilage or something like that, or tendons. It could be simply there are muscle strands that go through the shoulder, and those are the hardest ones to get to with a rotator cuff injury, and those you probably wouldn't be able to reach yourself. But some of them you could. So let's say in the back of your shoulder, say my fingers are going, into my back. If you push in and you can follow the muscle in a little bit and you can massage that this way, right? So you push in as far as it'll go and massage, and you can also pull on it gently, and just massage this way, that muscle. Um, you might be able to get somewhere without going to see a doctor, but if not, I mean, if not, I would say a sports therapist, sports injury therapist, or a chiropractor or something like that's probably going to be more effective for what you want, because you're still young and you don't want to treat any of these injuries with something that will prevent you from being able to continue in the sport. So by stretching it, by massaging it, and warm, soaking it a lot, soaking in a hot tub, things like that, putting jowl on it, and just giving it a lot of attention, that'll help heal it. And what happens is, let's say wait about a month or so, and then about a month in, start strength exercises. You know what I mean? Which is exactly what you might think you would do. You take a very, very small weight. Don't try to be, macho man. Take a small weight and just exercise slowly to the point that it starts to hurt, maybe a little bit more, and then bring it down, and then bring it up, and you just exercise like that. Because what you have to do is you have to repair the muscle by making it stronger, and the muscles that are around it that will compensate for it can get stronger, which will give that muscle more time to recover. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, you find out if you can go a little bit forward and a little bit back, and then if that's the case, um, if it's too great to go directly for 45 degrees or whatever, whichever angle hurts the most, you go into the two other. Oh, I forgot. Bringing your arm up this way too, like that. So when you're testing it to find out where the pain is, because that could be muscles in the front. Um, so once you find out where it is, you exercise the muscles around it to make it stronger while treating and focusing on that muscle. Sometimes you have to massage it. I mean, I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to strengthen it. Sometimes you'll have to stretch it. But it really depends on what is difficult, and we'll talk more about that. What is difficult for you to do. But as far as that clicking, I don't know what that clicking noise is. Yeah, I don't know what that noise is. So you might want to. I don't know. Mm, I don't know. Matter of fact, you can look it up on Google. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that injury is concerned, I don't. I wouldn't call. It's not a real big cause for alarm. That's natural. Plus, with the type of punches you were doing, that's probably natural. So probably don't overdo it. And I guess this would be advice for everybody, not to overdo it. I should have put this up in a group because those numbers I put up are pretty high for some people. So anyway, that's that. Let me upload this video and send it to you. All right, peace.